Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at Libec's new video tripod here. We have the TH-X. This thing really speaks close to the equipment that I use, and I'm really excited about it because they're coming in at a more affordable price with, again, a lot of the stuff that I love about some of the video tripods that I've been using. Number one, they've now supported the Manfrotto 501 PL plate on this system. Very, very common plate, something that I've been using, and the reason I've been sticking with mostly Manfrotto video fluid heads is because of the QR plate system. But they're now adding support here on this tripod, and a lot of other companies use Manfrotto 501 PL. You probably see it on some Benro models, some of the Sattler models. A lot of video tripods are using this, and now Libec has introduced one with the 501 PL plate system, and I'm excited about that. And they've also done the drop-in style, which is what I really like about the MVH 500 from Manfrotto, but now they have it on this system, and I'll walk you through, the drop-in plate style and why I prefer that. First, comes with a nice padded bag. This is padded. This is not just those cheap bags. Very nice. Comes with a shoulder strap. That comes with your tripod. Now, quick look here. We've got the twist lock legs here. Underneath here keeps the legs together. There's a little lock, and then you just pull the tab to unlock the legs. So as you hike around and you hold the tripod, it's not going to flop around everywhere. Very quick to unlock. You just pull this tab and then it's totally unlocked, and now we can spread the legs. There's a mid-level spreader in here as well, and that gives you extra stability. Now, to kind of show you a look at the drop-in style plate. Again, this is Manfrotto 501 PL, so everyone who's using Manfrotto tripods can use this system. Basically, you loosen this, and this is what locks the plate in place. Now, there are safety catches here, so if you slide back and forth, it won't unlock itself. You push this tab here, and then the whole plate comes off. So the whole plate comes off, and then when you have your camera, you just drop it back in, and then lock this down. Very easy. You don't have to slide it in, which could be a problem when you're working with certain cameras and certain rigs where you may have handles or follow focus or counterweight where you can't slide the camera in. You could just drop it on top of the head. Let me set this up for you guys. Another thing that I like about this tripod system here is it has the bowl mount. I've been using bowl mounts quite a bit because when you have a heavy system on here, you don't want to mess with each leg trying to get your tripod perfectly level, especially if you're working in grass and dirt and terrain where it's very uneven. As you move it around, you have to level your tripod. With a bowl mount system, you just loosen this, and then you can tilt your fluid head a certain number of degrees, and then there's a bubble level up here to make sure you're perfectly lined up. So it's much easier to manage instead of leaning over and unlocking this leg and expanding the other leg. The bowl mount really helps out. Now, it has a fixed tilt and fixed pan drag, so it's not variable, but that's very similar to the Manfrotto MVH 500 AH or so. You just have a lock, so it's either on or off, but you do have full pan and full tilt. And another look at the drop-in style. You loosen this, you push this lever, it comes off the top. Now, even though this is a bowl mount fluid head, this is actually dual purpose. So if we unscrew this fluid head here from the tripod, we can see that it is a bowl mount, but it's also a flat base mount with a 3/8 inch thread. So we could screw it onto any of our sliders. All right, we have the same two TH-X heads set up over here. And again, the whole QR plate system is so that you can be compatible when you're moving your camera around. So for instance, if we wanted to go from a tripod to maybe a monopod or to a slider, we would just remove this and it just drops in just like this, and we lock it in place. So very easy to move your camera around if you have the right QR plate system. Sometimes you build up a shoulder rig or some type of camera rig where you have handles up front. You may have your follow focus, and that could get in the way when you're trying to get your camera slid into one of those tripod heads. But with the drop-in style, again, you just come over the top and then you just lock this down. So you don't really have to worry so much about how you build your rigs. You could just drop it over the top of these video fluid heads. You know, another reason why I love the drop-in style heads, not just for convenience, but I'm able to get away with buying some of the really cheap Manfrotto compatible 501 PL plates. For instance, these here I get for sometimes about $5 a piece, and I buy dozens of them, and I have them on all my cameras, all my rigs, you know, pretty much everything that I need to mount to a tripod, a slider, or a monopod. I'm using these cheap plates. What I've learned is that the cheaper ones may not be machined to fit when you're sliding it into some video fluid heads, whereas the drop-in style heads here, I can take any of these plates, drop them in, lock them down, and they work 100%. So I'm able to save a lot of money because I end up losing these plates or I just need a lot of them. So sticking with the drop-in style video fluid heads is not just for convenience, but it does save me a lot of money. Okay, so just to show you, I really do work with the Manfrotto plate system quite a bit, and I love the drop-in style heads. Here I purchased the MVH500AH and I replaced the head on my carbon sticks here, threw the old head away. And then I have the Manfrotto X Pro monopod here, the video monopod, and I have a similar head mounted to this too. This one doesn't have panning, but it's basically the same as the MVH500AH. It's a drop-in style, so I'm able to get away with using cheaper plates. I'm able to move my camera from one system to the next. Now, Libec has come in a little bit cheaper than Manfrotto, but they also have some really cool features that I think I prefer over the Manfrotto. Number one is the position of the QR plate release and clamp. Libec has it on the left-hand side here, whereas Manfrotto has it on the right-hand side of their video fluid heads. Now, this could be tricky sometimes because, as you can see, most cameras have a right-hand grip. As a matter of fact, I think all cameras have a right-hand grip. So if I was to take my Ursa, I could loosen the clamp on the Libec, and then I can lift off my Ursa, and then let's say I move it over to the Manfrotto. Now, if I'm here on the Manfrotto, I have to drop this in, but I have to release my right hand so I can tighten up the clamp here. Now, if I wanted to remove my camera from the Manfrotto, I would have to use my left hand, loosen it up, loosen the clamp, and then lift it off. Now, that has been easy, but after using the Libec, it's a lot easier. So in fact, if I want to move it over here, all I have to do is keep my right hand on the camera. I drop my camera onto the plate, lock it down with my left hand, and my camera is secure. So the Libec head actually offers a bit more convenience than the Manfrotto, more affordable price, very similar features. It does have a bowl mount on the tripod, but you could use it as a flat base as well. Whereas the Manfrotto MVH500AH here is flat base only. So if you wanted to use this on a bowl mount, you have to get an entirely different head or some type of an adapter. And that's a look at Libec's new TH-X video tripod. Once again, this thing is coming in more affordable than the Manfrotto systems and offers a lot of similar features that I personally like. Remember, I like buying the video tripods that have the drop-in style and support for Manfrotto 501 PL plates. At the time, the only one that I could find budget-friendly was the MVH500, so I ended up buying a lot of that. But since Libec is coming out with this TH-X, I could really consider switching a lot of my heads or buying more of these. It is more affordable, still offers everything that I need. Drop-in style and Manfrotto 501 PL support. They also have a bowl mount and flat base, so the one head that you buy can work in different ways, whereas the Manfrotto usually has one head for flat base and one head for bowl mount. Anyways, I think if you guys are shooting with cameras under 8 or 9 pounds, this is going to be a great system for you guys to step into, especially if you're thinking about getting into the drop-in style heads, which again works very easily when you have rigs, when you have counterweights and follow focuses and handles, and when you have a lot of stuff where it's difficult to slide your camera in place, you can just drop it in here, and it works very quickly. And these heads here work a little bit easier than a Manfrotto because they moved all of the clamps and the quick release to the left side, so you can hold your camera with your right hand, which again, most cameras have the grips on the right hand side. So this one makes a little bit more sense for me and seems a lot easier to work with than the Manfrotto. So a lot of nice things to like. Budget friendly, all the features. For more information about this stuff, I'm gonna have a link below this video or on the blog at cheesycam.com.